This is Share the Vision, presented by the Resource Center, a discussion of the programs and services of the Resource Center and about issues related to individuals with disabilities. Today, we speak to you from high atop Harris Hill in Jamestown, Harris Avenue, where the Resource Center has a couple of facilities. Steve Watterson, Community Relations Director at the Resource Center, stands with me to say exactly where we are and what we're doing here.
Hi, Dennis. We are at our Senior Adult Dayhabilitation Program, which is a day program for older folks with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And as you and our longtime listeners are aware, folks at TRC enjoy gardening, and we have gotten involved in a lot of community gardening projects over the years. And we have a fabulous new venture that we're involved with, and we want to devote this radio show to talking about that.
What's the fabulous new venture, or should we have one of these?
Oh, let's have them talk about it, absolutely.
Okay, introduce me to the first person I should speak to.
Let's speak with Michaela Serto from Chautauqua County Health Network.
Michaela, hello.
Hello.
What is your position at the Chautauqua County Health Network?
I'm the Community Project Coordinator.
Well, it's nice to have you on. A moment perhaps for the Chautauqua County Health Network itself before we get into the specific project, just so that people have an understanding of what it is and what it does generally.
Well, Chautauqua County Health Network is a nonprofit improving the wellness in communities in a number of ways. And what I do is I work under the Creating Healthy Schools and Communities grant, which Chautauqua County Health Network received in 2015, and it goes until 2020. And what we do is we address high rates of chronic disease in areas such as Jamestown being one of them. And we have high rates of diabetes and obesity. And so we struggle a lot with that. And so the goal of the grant is to work in these in a number of ways.
And what is it specifically that has happened up here on Harris Avenue?
Well, in Harris Avenue, they are a work site that we are currently collaborating with on a worksite wellness initiative because they're in our target area because of the high rates of chronic disease. And so we've given them a tower garden to help with their worksite wellness.
Now, since the radio listeners are not here and cannot see what all of us in the room have just seen, I'm going to have you and our next guest also describe the Tower Garden. So what is the Tower Garden?
It is a about 4-foot vertical growing system. You know, it kind of reminds you of a tower. And what it does is it has little pods connected to this tower-like figure. And in those pods are various plants.
And this is something that's quite compact. Mm-hmm. It does not take up a lot of space in the hallway here at Harris Avenue.
Yeah, it takes up, I think it's less than 3 square feet. Because it grows vertically, it's not taking up a lot of room and it can go anywhere. And it even has the wheels on the bottom, and so you can bring it around to different areas.
And this is something that is brand new here?
Yes, it was about, in February, we gave the Resource Center a garden, and they've been just growing and doing wonderful things with it.
It is not many people who start gardens in February.
I know.
And do so successfully. I just wanted to make that obvious point, and you concurred with it immediately. And it is beautifully green, full bloom right now. Mm-hmm. And this is just one of a number of projects. Have you ever done a tower garden yourself, personally installed one anywhere that you know of?
Mm-hmm. We've installed it at our own office. My colleague and I, we care for the garden together. We grow like kale and we grow basil, and we use it ourselves for cooking, or we donate it.
And this is a project that you've had ongoing some time in your office, or is it brand new there too?
Actually, it started probably in around 2017 with the previous community coordinator, and myself and my colleague have carried on the project.
Now, I'm going to have you say your name for me one more time so that I make sure I get it right.
Michaela Serto.
Thank you very much, Michaela. I've enjoyed speaking with you. Next, I'm going to just move my chair and microphone to the other side of the table and say hello to, well, who are you?
My name's Nicole Watruke, and I'm the DSP lead here.
And it's Witruke.
Yep.
And what does DSP lead mean, Nicole?
I am in the senior league room, and I plan activities and do a bunch of paperwork and everything. And
we're going to get into just a little summary of what happens here in that regard in just a couple of minutes. But first, to pick up on the Tower Garden, and I had Michaela describe it from her perspective. Now, you can add your own explanation, your own details to this, so the radio listener could have a picture in his or her mind of what exactly is this is all about.
Mm-hmm. Well, like she said, there's like little pods, and me and the participants, we've taken the little pods and we put in seeds in them, and then we put them in the tower garden, and we turn the lights on, and they sit on like all day, and then the water sits on almost all day. It turns on and off with the timer, and we have things like tomatoes growing and kale and rainbow chard, and I can't remember all of what else is in there. There's a few other things.
Now, Nicole, you started from seed then.
Yeah, we started from the seed, yeah.
Okay, this is impressive, folks, because what I looked at out there, I thought maybe it was transplanted in because it looks pretty healthy. But you started all this from seed in February.
All from seed, yeah.
2 months ago.
Yeah, in February, yep.
Gardeners, real gardeners, in-the-ground gardeners are going to be very envious of this as they hear this at this point in the year and realize that you've got full growth going on something already. You point out two other things about the tower that I think are most interesting. One of them is the fact that it is fully lit. There's appropriate lighting to help grow there, and it's kind of self-watering too.
It is, yeah. And there's a timer on it that we can, if it needs like to shut the water off, we can shut off for 15 minutes and turn back on. The same with the lights. We have the lights on all day, and then they shut off around 6 or 7 at night and turn back on around 6 in the morning.
And how many different pods are there or levels are there to this, Nicole?
Oh, there's like 20 pods, yeah, I think, and
That's
like
a lot of
4
pods.
or 5 levels. Yeah.
Now, bear in mind that, again, from what Michaela told us, this is something that only takes up about 3 square feet and can roll around, and yet it has 20 pods and 3 or 4 different levels, so it's quite a remarkable device.
It really is, yeah.
And what has the response been among the people that you work with here at the Adult Day Hab to this project? Are they invested in it? Are they watching it closely? Tell us what their reaction's been.
Oh, yeah, everybody loves it. There's somebody out there every day checking on it and just talking about how much it grows every day. And there's one lady that loves to help me. She loves to fill up the water when she gets to hold the hose and pour the water in, and then we test it together. And she'll pour in the nutrients, and we'll measure it out, and she helps me a lot with it. And she just loves watching it grow and can't wait to take it down and donate and whatnot.
Have you had any production so far? I mean, have you harvested anything from your tower garden yet?
No, we haven't yet. We're not quite ready. I think we're getting really close, though, like to get a nice harvest, but not yet.
What do you think will come in first? What will you be picking first, Nicole?
I think probably the lettuce and maybe the rainbow chard are getting like really close, and the bok choy. There's bok choy in there too, and it's getting really close to being ready to harvest.
Are there any other things that are growing in there right now that are doing particularly well, or that you just want to announce are growing as part of your garden too, to fill in the picture some more, Nicole?
Oh, the tomato plants are looking amazing, and I swear every time we come back from the weekend, they've grown, and I can't wait to see how the tomatoes work, and hopefully they stay, intact. Like I'm so afraid they're going to break, but we have the big tomato cage around it to hold them up, so hopefully we get lots of tomatoes.
Well, this really sounds like it's going very, very well, and is very exciting considering the fact that this is just the first time that you have ever had the opportunity to do this here. I want to expand for a moment to the rest of the climate and the community here. Nicole, and you are a DSP lead. Are there other DSP leads that work in this Harris Avenue facility in the Senior Adult Day Hab as well?
Yeah, there's 2 other.
And how many people do you work with, participants are there in the program?
There's quite a few, about 40 or so. I think there's around
in the building every day?
In the building every day, yeah. I would say that's about what we're at right now. We're almost full.
And aside from watching the garden grow, there are a lot of, because I came in the doorway here, there was singing, there's activity going on. Describe what happens here in terms of some of the rest of the activities and things that you engage the participants in this program.
We try to do a lot of donating out to the community. Like right now we're working on like little box cat homes that we're painting and going to decorate and make them look cute and like for little kittens. And we also
wooden boxes?
Cardboard boxes, and hopefully we'll get some blankets and stuff in them, toys maybe, and there's other things growing, like the other room is growing catnip to donate, And we do a lot of community outings for like coffee and snacks and a lot of crafts and painting and all sorts of stuff up here. We're really busy.
So I'm just meditating on this for a moment. You are making these little kitten homes and growing catnip too.
Yeah.
You may have the kittens lined up at the front door wanting to become a part of what's happening up here.
Yeah, maybe that'd be fun.
Now, and I need to make a special point of this for the listeners, and that is that here at the Harris Avenue Senior Adult Day Hab, you are doing these projects involving people in these activities, and they are persons with disabilities who, if it were not for this facility, may not have the opportunity to watch a tower garden grow, to do all of these other things that you're talking about. I just want to put a point of emphasis on what opportunity everything you do here creates for the people who come here. It is very special.
It's amazing what we do. We try to brighten everybody's day and do new experiences for them and make them happy. And
the people who come here daily do come here. They don't live here.
Yeah, no, they come here from homes all around Jamestown and
Resource Center facilities, or
all Resource Center. Well, we have some participants that do come from homes, like with their family or caregivers.
So this becomes their place to look forward to being and interacting with one another and doing things all day long.
Yes, and make new friends and get out and experience new things. Like the Tower Garden.
How long have you been a part of all of this, Nicole?
I've been here almost 10 years. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the rewards that you have reaped from working with this clientele in this place.
Oh, man, where do I even start?
Really?
Well, I've grown a lot, and I love my job, and everybody has helped me. All the participants, and like I would never grown to experience a Tower Garden and be on the radio, and I don't know.
Well, this is getting a little bit of a departure, and we'll get back to the main subject in just a moment, but what you say about the difficulty in finding words to describe the richness of your experience here, and sometimes those of us who are not involved in what you do day to day might be put off a little bit or find it challenging to interact with persons with disabilities. You're telling me something quite different from that it really has been just to look on your face, it's been very rewarding and beneficial for you.
It really has. This job has made my life great. And it's very rewarding, and I love everything about it. It can be challenging and hard, but it's worth every second just to see a smile on someone's face, participant's face, and just to make somebody happy and enjoy life.
Well, again, thank you for saying all of this. I think anyone who's listening to this, anyone who's involved in a family or a workplace or both, would know that people can be difficult sometimes, and there are always challenges in the relationships. And what you're telling us is that despite the challenges that some persons with disabilities, older persons with disabilities, could offer, because the age range here is like 50 and older or something like that?
Yes, yeah.
That it's still very fruitful for you as an employee and as a person.
Yes, it really is.
Thank you for your time. Now, we are here at Harris Avenue and talking about the Tower Garden that Chaco County Health Network has made possible. I want to come back to Michaela Certo for just a moment. First, reactions to what we have heard from Nicole about the Tower Garden and how engaged the people are here in it. Were you aware that they were this keyed in on it?
I think you always have an idea that it's, making an impact. But I think to see the Tower Garden here and then see her reaction, it shows the difference that something that you might think is small can make to an organization. So it's just really cool to see you react to it and enjoy it.
And again, this is part of the Health Network's mission to create awareness and potential for improved approaches to health and wellness in a workplace. But it seems like it's doing a lot more than that right here.
Yeah, it's creating a culture of wellness, but where people can get together and bond over gardening and over increased awareness of nutrition. I mean, that's such a cool thing to be bonding over wellness.
I have said all of that to say this. Are you looking for other places to place Tower Gardens, or do you have all of the tower gardens in place that you need to have or want to have?
We actually have all of them in place right now because
How many?
There's 13 total. A lot of them are actually in the schools because my colleague, he wants to be able to teach the kids early on about increased nutrition and healthy eating.
So many of these are in schools. Are there other places aside from schools in the Resource Center where you have to just kind of describe the variety of places?
Yeah, we've got another work site. We have the BPU. They actually have a garden. The Gateway Center, they have a garden, and the Gateway Center rolls their garden around the center, so it could be at St. Susan's, it could be at the Mental Health Association area. I mean, it can be in a number of places.
I can hear them fighting over it. It's my day to have the garden. No, it's my day. But anyway, to go from facetious to serious again, if people wanted more information about these kinds of gardens, though, you could share that with them and maybe they could go out and establish one on their own?
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to share information, and we actually have a lot of information on our Facebook page about them. It's Creating Healthy Schools and Communities in Chautauqua County. So, long title, but there's a lot of information on our Facebook about it, and pictures if you want to see it.
Will there be a renewal of this? Will there be a time in which you'll be able to do more tower gardens, or are you at absolutely the top limit right now?
Well, there's always potential. We have one more year on this grant. It runs until 2020. So you never know. Next year, it's something we could do if it gains enough popularity, and there's work sites that are demanding the tower garden. So
this is a part of the work of the Chautauqua County Health Network that does not get a lot of publicity, at least on this radio station. So, Michaela Certo, if people are interested in learning more, talking to you directly about this, how can they find you? What's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Well, you can email me or call me. I can give my work phone number.
That'd be fine.
Because I love to get phone calls. I really love to talk to people. So it's 716-338-0010, extension 1209.
For this part of Share the Vision, Michaela Certo and Nicole Watruk up here at the Harris Avenue Senior Adult Day Hab. Steve Watterson, I understand we are about to exit and pick up the rest of this program at a different location?
Well, yeah, because of the wellness connection, we have our STARS Wellness Program at the Resource Center. So we're going to go talk to Donna Trusso, who's the manager of that program, and talk about how the Tower Garden project fits in with STARS Wellness.
We are here at Dunham Avenue now, and you may hear some noise in the background. We'll explain what that is in a moment, but Donna Trusso is here. Donna, give me your precise title at the Resource Center once again.
I'm the STARS project manager for the Employee Wellness Program at the Resource Center.
And we've just come from the Harris Avenue Senior Adult Day Hab facility and looked at the Tower Garden there, and Steve Watterson suggested that we come here and find the connection between what you are involved with and what that Tower Garden represents.
Okay, well, we've been working with the Chautauqua County Health Network since 2016, I believe, through the Creating Healthy Schools and Communities grant.
They made reference to that.
Yes, and they've helped us do many things, like get a wellness committee together that's made up of representatives from our different sites throughout the agency, and encourage the use of stairs as opposed to elevators and things like that. But most recently, we were approached by Michaela from CCHN for a tower garden. And my background with the Resource Center has been in the dehabilitation programs. And so we wanted to think of a site that would give the participants of a program the opportunity to get involved, as well as the staff, and a place that would be accessible and visible to, with a lot of traffic, where visitors could see this tower garden in progress. And really the main stipulation going into this was that we had a healthy meeting policy approved by our expanded executive support team. And because this is an opportunity for a sustainable food source, hands-on education and awareness about healthy eating.
And that is what led you to invest in this Tower Garden. And I'm just trying to tie the connection together again because it might be difficult for listeners to understand the issue of wellness and a garden and at the senior adult Dayhab program there. So I'm just trying to make these connections abundantly clear to the listeners here today, Donna, and I think maybe we're accomplishing that.
Yes. So this is an 18-month project, and we have a signed contract with CCHN, and there's certain things that we need to provide during that time, like 6 month progress reports on what was grown, what it's used for, things like that.
It's interesting how a garden like that, and both Michaela and Nicole up at Harris Avenue talked about how just being in the presence of something like this and observing it can get people thinking about healthy eating and lifestyle and growing things. So it's sort of subtle and yet unmistakable in terms of the connection that people will hopefully take away from this.
Right.
I want to ask you just a little bit of a broader question here, Donna. Steve Watterson and I just came back to Dunham here, walked up and down the hallway before we got into where we are, and we haven't said yet where we are, what's going on here. And I commented about the large number of employees who work for the Resource Center. How do you attempt to promote wellness otherwise among a vast, diverse, and may I say scattered workforce, many different locations all across Chautauqua County, a full set of age ranges, many different jobs? This has got to be an enormous task.
It is. That's been a huge obstacle for us because we are located at numerous sites throughout the county, and many of our employees, like you say, are all different age ranges and, in different positions. Some work 24/7 and, the third shift, and it's been difficult to reach everybody, but we have seen growth since I joined the team in 2015.
You have had success. Steve and I were looking for you in your office, which you're not at the moment. We won't say where we are yet, folks, but we'll get to that. And there are awards all over the place. This has been very, very successful, despite the diverse and widely scattered workforce.
Yes. Right now, we have about 36% of our employees who are insured through the Resource Center participating. But we've also opened up certified health coaching to all of our employees and the opportunity to earn incentive points for prizes to all of our workforce. So it is growing.
Kind of a carrot and stick sort of thing there, yes, to entice people into being a part of this.
Yes.
Would you like to have a Tower Garden in every hallway, in every facility of the not that you could do that, but would you like to have that kind of thing everywhere?
That would be nice. Now, the Senior Adult Dayhab program will have the opportunity after the 18-month project is completed to continue to keep that equipment at their site and maintain it over the years to come.
What you're, I think, telling us is that the Chautauqua County Health Network has made it possible for that tower to be there, for the things to be planted in it, and they have provided all of that. But it could become yours or the project entirely of the Senior Adult Dayhab at a certain point in the future.
Yes, that's true.
Well, Donna, thank you very much for telling us all about this and your connection to the Tower Garden there and your commitment to wellness here at the Resource Center. Now we better tell everybody, and it's a little distracting, you might have heard noise in the background, because we are conducting this interview in a most unusual place right now. What is happening around us as we speak?
Currently, we are having a blood drive here at Dunham Avenue. It's open to our employees as well as the community. Going into this drive, we try to have at least 3 a year, We have collected 208 units of blood prior to the start of today's event.
This year?
Yeah. Well, I would say I think this is the second year that we've done that. So total over time. A lot of us are first-time donors.
Good for you.
Yes, it's been very successful.
This is for the American Red Cross that you're doing this here today?
Yes.
Well, Donna, I just want to say I've broadcast from a number of different, interesting, unusual locations for the Resource Center. This has got to be one of the most unique. So thank you very much for allowing me to come in and speak to you while the blood drive is going on.
Well, thank you very much, Dennis. I appreciate your time.
And best of health to you and to everyone here at the Resource Center.
Same to you. Thank you.
And best of health to you, too, Steve Watterson.
Thank you, Dennis. Thanks for making yourself available to come to a couple different locations to make this program come together.
Well, and it is a most interesting set of initiatives, and I'm happy to have had the opportunity to do the show because it is not the sort of thing that I think the regular listener or people who are not intimately acquainted with the Resource Center would think of in terms of what might be happening here. So in that sense, it has been a very ear-opening, eye-opening, I hope, to the people who've been listening to this today.
Absolutely.
So to Nicole Whittruck, Michaela Certo, Donna Trusso, and Steve Watterson, thank you all for sharing the vision today.
Thanks, Dennis.